guys. I am tracking down 2 more mine sites, and as you can see, if you haven't seen already in the video, if I haven't put it in, I have hit the snow line. It's only the end of October, but I'm high enough up to where I'm hitting snow. It's just a light dusting, so the truck's doing fine, being open diffs, but I just don't know if there's multiple older roads that kind of switch back. You can see actually a lot of them across the way there. Oh man. Sorry, I just the combination of the dusting and the fall colors. There are some tire marks up here, so someone's been, oh, there's some deer tracks as well. Someone's been up here obviously, but pretty close to the top of this ridge, because the road I drove in on is right down there. Wow. Look at that. Quite a few tight switchbacks that I wouldn't want to made in a bigger vehicle, but I just don't know if, I think I might have to backtrack a little bit, grab my pack, and I might have to hike into this site. It shows that there were multiple old switchbacks, old cutouts, logging roads, what have you, but the turnoff that I saw that I was following was starting to get really overgrown, like wasn't even used by dirt bikes and that. It's a cool rocky butte straight ahead after this little drop. I definitely not in any dangerous situation, but I don't want to put myself into a bad position. The only sound, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, the only sound is the snow melting and falling off of the trees. There is not a single bit of wind at the moment. Checking my map, be about a mile in, and unfortunately the second one is quite a bit past that. It looks like it's snowing, but it's just falling from the trees above me. It shows there's tons of roads, but I just don't think these are all viable anymore. Even this one that I'm technically on says it continues. Yeah, I'm gonna take it a bit further and see where it ends up. It looks like this one in theory drops right down above it or near it, so we'll take a look. Wowza, what a cool spot. So this is the, up behind me on the hillside, that's actually where I came down over the ridge. Somewhere around here is the site. And I don't know, we've got what looks like waste rock and stuff down below, but also at the bend in the road, there's tons of exposed rock. It looks like there's two different gullies that come down the hillside. I was actually on the road up above. Yeah, so see, there's a really narrow gully that goes up that way, and then there's another one that goes up that way. Man, it's pretty out. Oh yeah, you can kind of see above the truck, way up in that patch of snow, there's a line. That's the road that I came down on this side. I'm seeing a lot of old stumps. The tracks I was seeing continued on. I took the sharp switchback to come over in this direction. All right, so it's not going to show on camera very well, but through those trees, there's either exposed earth or a lower road, and I didn't think that there was a lower road. At least it doesn't show on here. Okay, so even though I use free apps, the perk of using multiple is they'll each give you a little bit more information than the other ones. Some are obviously very limited when it comes to the free stuff. But one of the satellite images looks like if I actually take the road back, there's not going to be a road that I can drive down, but it does look like there was an access point, at least when there wasn't snow. This is a light dusting, so I might be able to see that cut out, but I'm going to go back. It will be in the sunny side of the hillside, so I'm going to go backtrack just a little bit of a ways. I'm hoping to get to right near there and then go down to the site, because the satellite image looks like there's a massive tailings pile. So, but it is just right below me, but I think I'm actually a little bit too far up above it to where there's too many trees. So let's go a little bit further back and see what we can find. Okay, well, it may or may not show up on camera, but there's a tailings pile literally just right down there. I'm gonna grab my chest pack, my water bottle, stuff. It's not too far, but I am gonna have to bushwhack a little bit. Well, hopefully it's picking up on camera and not too windy for the mic, but I'm actually following an old cutout, and this is the one I think I could see on the satellite image. The truck's right up there. I am backtracking a little bit behind me, but then I should be able to connect to it down there. It looks like there's actually what I'm guessing was an old ore line. It disappears over there. I was just right above where these tree line is, but I found it, found the tramway I was looking for, and there's the waste rock pile. From what I could see up above, this one's got two huge waste rock piles. So I don't know if that means they just dumped them in two different areas or what exactly. So you have old rock pile, which doesn't look like much, but look at the timber, the old log sticking out of the ground. And then this big one right here. Yeah, we're definitely in the right area. Down below me was the way I was walking, and it looks like it terminates at the base. I don't see a portal. There's a ton of, I'm actually standing near a ton of old iron, scrap iron. There's timbers, there's a big old collapsed pipe. I can't tell if it continues on and around the bend, but even just to my left, there's more, what looks like might have been an old retaining wall. But what I'm most curious about is up above there. Okay, so we're not all the way there. It's across the way. I was down right where this patch of snow is. Yeah, from what I can tell, it either ends right down there or it's kind of slid and covered the road. But there's a bunch of still timbers, a bunch of old metal up here, so I'm definitely onto something here. Keep climbing, I'll bring you back. Truck's right up there in between the trees. I was down there below in the snow. I was just up on the first fin here of tailings and waste rock. There's this smaller one that goes to the other hillside, but I mean there's old timber, barrel stays. Over here is just a pile of scrap metal pipe. Some over there. There's just a little bit of that snow where I've got to be extra cautious where my footing is, because you obviously don't want to step somewhere you're not supposed to be, but I definitely wouldn't be coming back here with more snow than this on the ground, because too risky. There's obviously multiple ways that they mine, but at first I walked the first ridge thinking that it was that hillside and they pushed it out and dumped it. But I'm going to climb up this one and check, and then the last one I'm going to check is up behind me where all the pipe looks like it goes through. Clearly there was major workings. You can just see the faint cross timbers. There's no rail, at least immediately noticeable. But they could have hauled that off, or it's down in the metal pile. But I do think they would have gone off these hillsides and just dumped it as they went, and they connected to that other one, and then the other one was going. But when you get here, there's big waste rock, and it doesn't look like there's much that I'm seeing immediately. And with all this excavation, you would think something would be sticking right out in the open. Yeah, look, here's one of those cross timbers. You can see it go across, and there's some metal reinforcement. You can kind of see where the snow is stuck to it. But the road I was on was just right up there. So it's hard to say. You don't know the site. At first glance, I just assumed that it was either over at that end or at that end, and they worked their way out. But it's also over off this hillside too, so there's a chance that they went over there and brought it this way. Above where I initially came in, the two big tailing piles are over there. You can see one of them through the trees, but there's this huge notch that's further down from the truck. And I don't see cart lines or timbers, but there is pipe and stuff up there. There's a bunch of waste rock. But what caught my eye is this big flat area. I walked through over here. There's all this flat area, and that actually might connect to the one that I was on. I just thought for sure this would have a very distinct opening, but maybe I'm just missing it. That was pretty awesome. I don't know, minus the site that I got a bunch of views on that has the head frame, I don't know if I've ever seen one with such large tailing piles like that. It's pretty wild. Actually, the truck's just right up behind me there. I'm gonna start climbing back up to the truck, see if we can get to this next one. It's almost 3 o'clock, so we have a little bit of daylight left. I want to give myself plenty of time. Holy cow. Man, every time I turn around a corner, it's just a crazy view. I'm below most of the snow line. That far ridge, right about above where my finger was that upper one that I came down. And then right over there where that butte is, that's where I came around the corner. But I was just keep going to the secondary site, and I just happened to see out the corner of my eye, there's, down below me, there's waste rock, tailings. You can see, might be able to see kind of above my finger, raise the camera up a bit. There's a bunch of old timber, and there's a bunch more right over there. I'm not really sure. Oh man, it smells really good. On the map, looks like that connects to the path that I was on, but this is too steep to get down there. Yeah, definitely a bunch of waste rock and a bunch of timber over there. Maybe it was like a tram system, or you can't really see it on the hillside, but on the satellite image it kind of follows right below the road that I've been driving on. I'm getting out and scouting on foot. This is becoming less and less traveled. But the funny part is that literally I think would be just a couple more switchbacks and would connect down to the lower road. where I came up the canyon. I just want to make sure I don't go around a bend and get somewhere where I have to back up. All right, well, it ends. So it does not, it used to continue at one point, but it does not. Thankfully, I've got a nice wide spot to turn around. I won't be able to make it to that other site. This showed that it went through and it doesn't, so you must have to get to it from the other side of the ridge. So I gotta start backtracking the way I came. I still got some daylight left, so it's not too bad, but I'm gonna get turned around here on this switchback and start climbing back up towards the snow line, just retracing my steps. So that is one of the perks of using one of the apps, even if it's free and if it's very limited, you can have somewhat of a breadcrumb trail. Well, I'm about to go around the bend and crest over the rise, but just wanted to do one last shot on this side. Beautiful. It's going to be hard to pick up on camera, but the roads behind me, I went through the tree line there, over across the way. That's where I had first stopped, thinking that that was the site, but actually down there, went down those switchbacks across the canyon, and then down there in that notch in the trees is where the first mine site was. And then it's definitely not going to show up because of the darkness and with the sun out, but basically way over there in that dark area down below, that's as far as I got. So I think just either a little bit further down or just around the bend on that hill was the secondary one. But yeah, that road just completely ended. All right, guys, I'm back to pavement, but I still got about 20 minutes of a windy road before I get back to town. That was really cool to find that first one. That must have been a massive operation, because those two tailings piles that I climbed up to see where they went was that was unreal. And we didn't find the second one, but I mean, the road ended. It is what it is. Old trails, stuff like that, and shows that stuff went through at one point, but you get up there, and unless someone's been up there before and told you about it, sometimes just a matter of getting out and exploring. So thank you guys so much for following along. If you like what you saw, if you like old history, finding lost history, hiking, kayaking, camping, snowshoeing, pretty much anything, any time of the year, please feel free to follow along. Comment down below, like and subscribe. Let me know if there's anything you want to see less of, more of. If you want something changed in the format, how things are working. I'm up for criticism. I'm up for suggestions. I'm going to head back into town. And until next time, see you guys all on the next one.